on the spot, going beyond headlines and topical issues to the questions that matter.
You were not corrupt.
I and some others are not corrupt. So it is not true that the judiciary is metaphor.
Okay, so you can boldly stand and say you were not corrupt.
I'm always standing out boldly that I am not a corrupt judge.
I'm just trying to understand why can they come together. It is my prayer always. Honestly, whenever I pray as an individual,
yes,
I always pray that let us have peace in this state. Let us also experience development and know the benefit of democracy. We have suffered. We deserve something better.
Join us Mondays to Fridays at 1 p.m. on TV Gotel. On the spot, digging deep. Government sensitizes populace on effects of deforestation. Federal government poised to privatize 10 new power plants. Plus, stakeholders commend Nigeria's Chief Justice for enhancing judgment in criminal cases. Hello there and welcome to Gotel News. I am Martins Dixon. In an effort to combat deforestation in the northern part of the country, both the federal and state governments have banned indiscriminate felling of trees. In an effort to ensure total enforcement, sensitization campaigns were targeted at some communities in the state. The environment correspondent who was part of the team takes up from here.
Gotel News investigations reveal that 90% of households depend entirely on firewood for their energy needs. Hence, the indiscriminate felling of trees. However, as an antidote to the problem, the federal government has promised to provide alternative sources of energy apart from the firewood. During the sensitization, people were told that trees that are in maturity stage should be nurtured to maturity, while dried ones can be cut down with clearance from the authorities.
We depend on trees for so many reasons. They are our source of shade and oxygen, and our lives depend on them.
The people were also cautioned on the long-term effect of deforestation.
This phenomenon has led to loss of plants, animals, cause of erosion, loss of soil fertility, poverty, hunger, disease. It has also made the state to be characterized by high temperature, low and relative humidity, erratic rainfall, resulting to harsh weather conditions that is not conducive for the production of most of our staple crops.
Cutting down of trees has since been an offense and is still an offense. When you cut down a tree, you replace it by planting 5 other trees. From the land of Vintim, I am Nubwa Ibrahim for Gotel News.
The federal government has confirmed the illegal flooding of Nigeria's market with large volumes of palm oil import from neighboring West African nations under the guise of the ECOWAS Trade Liberalization Scheme. This is a regional trade facilitation agreement endorsed by nations under ECOWAS, and it is designed to boost trade among them by allowing reciprocal duty-free importation of goods and services within the West African countries. However, the goods and services entitled to move duty-free within the region must be indigenous to the exporting nation and must fully originate from there. Minister of Agriculture and Natural Development, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, noted at the weekend that available statistics strongly suggest that in the closest West African nations to Nigeria, most of the palm oil they import from Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, and others actually end up in the Nigerian market duty-free, thereby displacing locally produced palm oil from the market and suffocating the Nigerian oil palm plantations. According to Adesina, the aggregate locally produced and imported palm oil in these neighboring West African nations by far surpasses what they require, both for the domestic and industrial consumption, therefore making the massive Nigerian market the dumping ground for these cheap oils, which also comes into Nigeria duty-free under ETLS, making it by far cheaper than the CPO produced within Nigeria. We will be taking a break. You're still watching GoTel News. We'll be back with more stories. Stay with us.
On every journey, you need a roadmap to take you to the right places and to ask the right questions. And to meet the right people so that you can see things from the right perspective. GoTel News is that guide with a variety of current affairs programs and news updates that keeps you abreast of unfolding events on the hour. You can be sure it is always new. GoTel News. New time, better perspective.
Legal practitioners have commended the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Aloma Mokhtar, for initiating new rules to make the criminal justice more efficient. Chief Adigboyega Awomolo described the new practice directions being proposed by the CJN as the most significant improvements to the nation's criminal justice system in recent time. He said the proposed practice directions had shown that the CJN had a full grasp of the issues affecting the judiciary. The former chairman of the Abuja branch of the Nigerian Bar Association, Afam Osigwe, said the new rules will give the criminal justice system a facelift, saying it is a welcome development. She pointed out that the judiciary will not be the same again when combined with the automated case management system being implemented by the Chief Justice of Nigeria. The proposed practice directions have as its objective to establish a specialized system of case management in the Supreme Court that will provide for the fair and impartial expeditious administration of criminal appeals arising out of cases listed above. The combined team of the Nigerian Army and the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in Lagos on Sunday seized 3,166.15 kilograms of illicit drugs and arrested 47 suspects. This is contained in a statement signed by the NDLA spokesman, Ofoyeju Michel, which stated that the operation was carried out at an Akala area of Mushin, Lagos. The operation, which lasted several hours at the weekend, led to the arrest of 47 suspected drug traffickers and addicts with the seizure of 3,166.15 kilograms of narcotics, including cannabis, cocaine, heroin, and methamphetamine. Chairman and Chief Executive of the agency, Ahmadu Gaide, commended the Nigerian Army Commander 9 Brigade Lagos, Brigadier General Adeni Oyebade, for giving the needed backup of those that notoriety of the area. According to the statement, the agency will continue to gather intelligence reports and conduct raids on criminal hideouts. We are prepared to clean up Lagos, Oyebade urged the stakeholders to support the NDLEA in the eradication of illegal drugs in the society. And now to politics. The Action Congress of Nigeria and the Congress for Progressive Change on Sunday condemned President Goodluck Jonathan for recognizing the Jonah Jang faction of the Nigeria Governors Forum. For details of these and other political reports, it's over to our correspondent, Blessing Tuno.
Some governors led by chairman of the People's Democratic Party Governors Forum, Godswill Akpabio, had faulted the election, insisting that Amechi's term as the NGF chairman had ended and chose to recognize the Plateau State governor, thus splitting the forum into factions. The Jang faction had on Friday visited Jonathan, who recognized Jang as the chairman of the forum. On Sunday, the ACN said the president's action was a caricature of democracy. The ACN, in a statement issued by its National Publicity Secretary, Lai Mohammed, said the president's ill-advised decision had shown that he had little or no respect for democracy. On its part, the CPC said it was clear that Jonathan was behind the Jang group from the beginning. The CPC spokesman, Rotimi Fashakin, said the president did not believe that Amechi would help him in his second-term ambition. He appealed to the international community to take greater interest in Nigeria's democracy. But the president, through his special advisor on political matters, Ahmed Gulak, on Sunday, justified the endorsement of the Jang faction and said the president did the right thing by recognizing the man with the majority of followers. Gulak said, contrary to the lies being peddled, the Plateau State governor won the NGF election with 21 out of the 36 state governors solidly behind him. He said, aside from winning the election, there was no provision for a second term in the constitution of the NGF up until Amechi concocted it. Still on the controversial election, Governor Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti State has said his Rivers State counterpart, Rotimi Amechi, remains the authentic chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum. He He said there should not be any ambiguity in who was validly elected at the forum's meeting, which was held on Friday, May 24th in Abuja. Fayemi said on Friday that the outcome of the election was glaring and clear to all the 35 governors that were present at the election venue. Away from the Nigerian Governors Forum, the People's Democratic Party has said the opposition political parties merging to form the All Progressive Congress do not have the capacity to hold primaries to choose those who will be contesting on its platform in 2015. National Publicity Secretary of the PDP, Olisa Metu, in a statement on Sunday said if the APC held primaries, many of its supporters will be angry with the outcome and this will tear the party apart. Speaking for the APC, the National Publicity Secretary of the Congress for Progressive Change, Rotimi Fashakin, said the PDP was already afraid of the party even when it had yet to take off fully. Meanwhile, the Action Congress of Nigeria on Sunday said contrary to insinuations, it will not be possible for any single individual to attempt to hijack the APC. Deputy National Chairman of ACN, Boss Mustafa, said the APC, which metamorphosed from the merger of the ACN, CPC, All Nigerian People Party and some members of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, will be the party to beat come 2015. Blessing to know. GoTel News.
And from politics to sports, after playing a 2-2 draw with Mexico in an international friendly match in Houston, USA, the Super Eagles of Nigeria is battle-ready for the Harambee Stars of Kenya in the second leg of their World Cup qualifying campaign in Nairobi. Sports correspondent Percy Dabang has more.
3 members of the Nigeria national team, John Ogu, Ogenyi Onazi and Brown Ideye, are doubtful for Wednesday's 2014 FIFA World Cup qualifier against Kenya. The Super Eagles take on the Harambee Stars in Nairobi but may have to make do without the services of the 3 key men who all played in Saturday's 2-2 draw against Mexico in Houston. The 3 players picked up knocks in the game and it is not yet clear if they will recover in time for Wednesday's game against the Harambee Stars. Head coach of the Nigerian team, Stephen Keshi, confirmed that he will speak to the team's doctor before reaching a decision over the trial. Nigeria currently lead Group F of the African zone of 2014 FIFA World Cup qualifying on 5 points from 3 matches. Jose Mourinho has confirmed that he will take up the job to return for a second spell to coach Chelsea next season. Mourinho ended his 3-year reign at Real Madrid with a 4-2 home La Liga win over Osasuna at the weekend. It has long been speculated that the Portuguese tactician will make a return to Stamford Bridge after mutually terminating his contract with Real Madrid, where he had a torrid time. Mourinho, who reportedly landed in the United Kingdom on Sunday, is expected to finalize the paperwork that will see him sign a 4-year deal at Chelsea. He joined Chelsea in 2004 and won back-to-back Premier League titles from 2005 before leaving the club by mutual consent in September 2007. The West London club have yet to confirm a deal has been agreed with their former manager. And that was it on Sports Brief. I'm Percy Dabang.
And that's the news of what the weather will look like. Let's take a look at this graphic illustration. That's the news. Before we go, we brought you a report that the federal and state governments have embarked on sensitization campaign amidst at enlightening the citizenry on dangers associated with deforestation. And that's the news today from me. Here is good day.